are live.
All right, well, good morning, and we'll start by introductions. And young lady, if you want to introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. I'm Carla Doncaster.
Alan
Gagne, Teton County Road.
Sam Carlson, Teton County Commissioner.
Dick Snellman, Commissioner.
Joe Dellwo, Commissioner.
Jen Swanson, Agriculture Extension Agent.
Pete Rasmussen, Justice of the Peace.
Melody Martinson, Choteau, Canada.
Welcome to everyone. Have minutes from January 5th and January 19th.
I would move to approve.
I would second that.
Any comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have one road encroachment. It's on 19th Road Northwest and 7th Lane. It's to put in a wider entrance into, or just off the road for semis, so. And Alan's looked at it and approved it
Who's it for?
for Seth Hodgkiss.
Okay.
Is this to access a field or a yard?
Haystack yard.
It's, yeah, he has to go through the field now to get into the hay corral, and if he does this, then he can go right into the hay corral and not have to drive through the herd of cows with a load of hay, and
Right.
it's gonna simplify everything. I would move to approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right. And we have Sheriff's Grant Support Letter. They're applying for a grant to the Sheriff's Department, and we told them that we would write the letter of support.
They're applying for a grant to upgrade their radio system.
To upgrade
Upgrade the radio system. And I think it's for $800 and some thousand.
Right.
Right.
So I would move to approve that letter.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Joe, who are they? Who's the granting entity? Who are they applying to?
It says in the letter.
I can just get a copy of the letter.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
fact, I think I made 2 copies today. I
Yep.
made one for you, Mel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Here, I'll. I anticipated that.
There you go. Here's the letter.
And Jen is gladly come up to give us an extension report, so I'll turn it over to Jen.
All right, thank you. On the report, you can see I highlighted the mission of the extension, just to remind folks who aren't familiar with it. And it's basically to improve the lives of Montana citizens using unbiased research-based education and information. We have 4 main areas of focus for the agriculture agent, and that is agriculture and natural resources, including forestry, weed management and wild areas, wildlife, et cetera, community development and youth development. And that overlaps in the community development and youth development areas with the duties of the family and consumer science agent, which includes things like family finance and youth, child development and so forth, food safety. In Teton County, I am charged with working on agriculture, natural resources, community development, and youth development. And the other position, family and consumer sciences, is currently open, but we are making an offer to someone this week. This annual report actually reflects just 7 months. I started in July. And I brought the budget reports with me from January, but we're within budget in all categories. The priorities for this year, set by my supervisor at MSU Extension, were relationship building, service to our clients, and of course educating myself and getting myself up to speed. So in those 3 categories, I've outlined some details there for you. In terms of relationship building within the community, you can see there a list of the boards, committees, or community groups that I attend regularly or work with. I won't read those. And then the Extension Service likes to know whether you appear in local media. And so there were 2 articles featuring agents in one way or another, not necessarily about me, but in which I was discussed, and 2 radio spots in which I advertise programs. And in terms of outreach for information in local media venues, I regularly submit columns to the Choteau Acantha, the Sun-Times, and I've reached out to Dutton Brady Newsletter and Power Community Newsletter as well. And so far the article total is 14. And you can see the list of topics there: noxious weeds, livestock disease, youth-related highlighting of accomplishments, and some other community issues there. Particularly soil testing, which is a new service that we're going to offer through Extension. In terms of community events, I try to attend when possible, and those are the 2 I've attended so far. In terms of client service, and this is really a big focus for me, we receive calls from the public on a regular basis. We had 411 calls since I started, and that's about 51 calls a month. Some of those calls are to enroll in programs that we're offering. Some of them are from parents asking questions, but probably 2/3 of them are actually for the agent and relate to some of the topics listed there. So hot topics include forage, nitrate testing of forage, feed value of forage, certifying acres for weed seed free, hay sales, a lot of stuff about weeds. Trees is a big issue, a few questions on water quality, a few questions in the family and consumer sciences areas of food safety, and homestead declarations, etc. Interestingly, 3 or 4 insurance declarations were requested this year, asking me to certify how bad the drought affected local agricultural producers, etc. A couple on ranching strategies, economic comparisons of, say, cow-calf operations with other forms of livestock management. A lot about water quality in terms of how it's affecting plants primarily, and quite a bit about soil. In terms of educational opportunities offered to the public, I participated in the ones listed there. The first one was actually pre-planned and developed before I arrived, so all I did is help them with some facilitation. But the Tree Care Workshop, Opioid Use Disorder Community Roundtable, and Golden Triangle Cropping Seminar, I was integrally involved in those. And they were all rated 4.5 out of 5 or higher by the people who evaluated the program. A big area of emphasis lately has been this Strong People program, which is a strength training program primarily for people over 50-ish, And we offered it in the past. It was stopped during COVID. At that time, we had 20 or so participants. I think COVID made people really eager to get out because we have 53 people enrolled. 46 people have started attending in January, and we offer 2 classes twice a week. And I'm currently teaching those, although I'm going to be getting help from the health department diabetes prevention coordinator as soon as she gets off maternity leave. So help's coming in April. I had a lot of training to do for myself to get up to speed with the breadth of topics, that a ag extension agent engages with. So you can see I've done 7 trainings there on the topics listed, trying to catch every webinar I can, especially if it's about noxious weed management in particular or pest management. Those are big topics in our area. Gone to a couple different workshops, primarily a pest management tour, which deals with Richardson ground squirrel management, insect management in crops, but also weed management. It's all considered integrated pest management these days. And most recently a safe/pile burning practicum in December. So I was pleased to see in the recent newspaper article, a little bit about burning regulations in the county, because I'll be writing some stuff about that in future newspaper columns. And then I've attended several conferences. These are training opportunities through Extension where you get to interact with the specialists there in soil, and they teach you about soil testing and water. They teach about water testing, etc. We usually have breakout sessions where you go find your specialty and work with the researchers there. But two were not related to Extension, and that was the Ag Economics Conference down at Montana State University and the recent Western Montana Grazing Conference, where, you know, these were not necessarily Extension specialists. These were specialists from out in the world. And I did enroll in an Extension mentorship program. I feel like agronomy is kind of my area of least strength, and so I going to pair up with Shelley Mills because she's a former USDA employee and a 15-year plus ag agent who has no 4-H responsibilities, so she really focuses on cropping. So I'm going to kind of pair up with her, and we're mostly going to meet virtually because Valley County is quite a hike. She also does a beekeeping program, and I think that might be, you know, something that's handy for folks here interested in pollination, so working with her. I've received the certifications listed below there, and in addition we have 2 important ones pending for March, and we're just waiting for those trainings to occur in February, and then I'll go get tested in March and I'll be ready for summer. Other types of service that we that I have worked on offering include just some minor changes in the Extension office. We've had wonderful agents in the past, but, you know, I had to put my thumbprint on things, so got to reorganize, take an inventory, clean things up to my liking, and been doing some personal interviews with clients as I find them, primarily agricultural clients, to see what they perceive to be the needs. In the youth development area in 4-H, I serve on those 6 committees listed there, so that keeps me pretty busy on evenings and weekends, and participated in the events, the 4-H events listed there. And also our office provides financial oversight to these youth development clubs, and so we're busy filing the tax postcards right now. For the university, I've done some editing, a presentation at our annual conference, participated on an important search committee, and joined a bunch of professional organizations so that I can keep teaching myself what I need to know.
Well, thank
There
you.
you have it.
Yeah.
Well, you had big shoes to fill, but you're filling them. It's been
Grand.
been great.
Are there any questions for Jen?
I guess my other comment would be it's going to be nice to get the FCS deal filled so you can stop being so spread thin.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And just a question, are the numbers in the 4-H program staying relatively high, or?
Yeah, we had about 25% of our total enrollment is new kids, and we have 98 or 90 some families and about 160 kids, so it's hanging in there steady. What people have noticed is that the kids tend to do fewer projects than they used to, meaning it used to be common for kids to do 5 or 6 different projects when they were in 4-H, and so that was reflected in more animals at the fair. And kids are tending to, we have the same number of kids, but each kid does fewer projects now,
Sure.
which probably reflects just how busy parents are and all the opportunities at school, etc. So,
So we certainly appreciate your
Yeah, thank you.
information, and thank you for the job that you do.
well, thank you, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to present here.
So if there's no questions for Jen, we'll go on to the resolution for justice of the peace when you're not available.
Yeah, just sub-judge. I have to, we all have to fill out get a substitute judge appointed, and there's a certain criteria it has to meet. We fill out a certain application for a waiver of training. We submit it to the Commission on Courts of Limited Jurisdiction, and they have to approve or disapprove. So I think the resolution is just up to you guys to, for housekeeping for the county. I got, my sub-judge in the past has been Marion Past. Part of the criteria is they have to be a current or past judge or an attorney. So Marion has been in the past. this time she wasn't too interested, and Justin Lee, who was pretty much semi-retired, kind of wanted, he's pretty excited about it. And part of the criteria is you gotta be part of the community and active in the past or current, so, you know, he's been Booster Club, Fire Department, whatever, his family's been around a while, so it's kind of a good deal. So I got that approval back from the commission, and I just need to administer the oath of office, file the paperwork at the clerk and recorders, so he should be able to sit in when I'm gone. So that's good. And then also any other, just for you guys to know, any other justice of the peace or city judge statewide pretty much can cover for me. They've had all the training, so if something happens, I can call Cody and Conrad or whatever.
Okay.
Thanks for the update. That resolution number is 2023-11. And
I would move to approve that resolution.
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I know you've been busy. If you want to give us a update on what your crew is doing?
Well, between snowstorms, we've been graveling. We've done about 2.5, 3 miles so far, but these storms are different this year.
Yep.
We're not having to plow all the road. We're chasing drifts. We might hit a drift, and it might be another mile, it might be 2 miles, but everything has to be opened. So that's kind of what we've been doing. We've been through all the trucks, all the machinery. Like I say, we got some gravel over on 20th by Clay Loney's and the bridge on the Teton, and we're going to continue in that area. We probably have 6, 7 more miles over there I want to get done, and then we're just going to do spots. We're not going to do full roads. We're just going to go to the areas that are the worst, and then just move on from there. So I'm now down another person. I lost an employee this week, so we'll have to advertise for another employee for the Fairfield area.
Appreciate the update. Any comments or commissioners' reports?
Well, I had a nice text from one of our taxpayers over in the Dutton area, thanking us for the gravel and singing your praises, Alan. So he just said that he thought you were top shelf in his book. So
At least
just
one
pass
in the county.
just pass that on. One person,
One out
yeah.
of 6,200 people, that's not bad, is it?
Well, that's a start.
No, it's a big process. People don't realize what it takes, the material it takes and the time it takes, and the money it takes when you start graveling. You take 60,000 ton of gravel, and that's about 40 miles out of 1,400. So we'll be here a few years,
Oh, yes.
longer than I'll be around.
But we appreciate the work and the update.
There's, and it's not just graveling, there's just lots of repairs to the roads, from cattle guards to culverts to basically rebuilding some roads that have been just deteriorated over the years.
Yep.
And that's a big process. There's not many miles we can do in here, but we'll do the worst stuff first and carry on from there.
We have a flap grant that should be let or started working on in March, and we visited with the bridge group that's in Teton County on the South Fork Bridge. That meeting will be after our commissioner meeting on February 16th, and we're going to have that in the annex so that more people, if they want to attend, and then we'll have Zoom there and discuss. When we visited with the FLAP personnel, they said there's a potential that we could help that group move the bridge. We don't want to make any rash statements, but at least everybody can make their ideas known, and we can proceed on with trying to get that bridge replaced. Mainly safety reasons for ambulance, roads, in that area.
For everybody.
Fire.
Yep, for everybody.
We thought we'd just have a regular meeting over at the annex too. No, we'll just,
Just kind of seamlessly flow from
yeah,
one into the
the internet connection is a lot better over there, and I'm anticipating there's going to be a lot of people that want to join the meeting that way. So
And then it seems like we're last on the totem pole to receive information, but the Department of Labor gave Molson Coors beverage facility in Power some safety award, and so we just wanted to acknowledge that the new construction and the new business is on the top of OSHA's list, so kudos to them. Any other?
I guess I would add that Joel from Koski Distillery
Okay.
stopped by yesterday and was interested in a tax abatement, so we went over the process with him, and I anticipate that he is going to apply for one of those in the near future. I had the discussion that it's better for us if it's before construction and
Right.
there's no tax shift. It's been a concern in the past, so it sounded like he was going to do that fairly quickly. So I believe we put him on the agenda for the 16th
Yes, we
as
did.
well, just to get that ball
And-
rolling.
The other item is sextons for the cemeteries. The ads have been put in the paper, and the request for the contracts have been sent out. And so that'll still be 2-3 weeks before anything will be finalized on it, but just so that people are aware. Public comment? Other than it's Alan's birthday?
I didn't say a word, Alan.
So,
21?
Yep,
yeah.
At least.
still dreaming. No, I don't think I'm gonna live 21 again. I'll go a little farther ahead than that. I gotta go way back or forward when 21 wasn't.
So, well, if there's no other announcements, our next meeting will be February 16th in the annex. And we will adjourn the meeting.
So, Jen,